runs free enterprise system than that one act. If my company's going bankrupt, nobody's going to bail me out. I promise you, the government's not going to bail me out. You know what? I'm not even going to ask you to bail me out. You know why? Because it's not the government's job to bail people out. And everybody that's sitting in this room, they took your hard-earned money and gave it to those people on Wall Street and gave it to these banks. And those same banks, because of their trouble that they didn't do a good job, now the real estate values in this community have dropped to about 50% of what they were. And that is a huge problem. That is never supposed to happen in this country. And it's going to take people that have the guts and the courage to say, you know what, let them fall apart. Let the banks fall apart. If you make bad decisions, you fail. Your bank can fail. I'm sorry, you're not too big to fail. And when you get to the point, when you've been there 9 years, like my opponent, who I'm sure is a nice guy, I'm just talking about the record. 9 years, and we get to the point where, okay, we know the debt ceiling is going to be August the 2nd, I guess was the great date. 9 years ago, why didn't we start working on that? Instead of voting that, start January 1, we're going to start getting these certain kind of light bulbs that cost 10 times as much as a regular light bulb that we all want. Instead of doing those things, we've got stimulus spending, we got all of these things that are taking place. And this government was never set up for the bailout. We're never to bail out people that are failing. We're never to do that. We're never to just print money and throw it at projects, because that is not what this country was set up to do. And when we see that, we see our nation starting to crumble. And that is a problem. And one of the biggest problems is when you have people that portray themselves as conservative, saying that, hey, I'm a conservative, and I want you to understand that, I'm going to vote against all Obama stimuluses, and they don't do it. In the background, they voted for Obama stimulus. In the background, they voted for the bailout. And that's what we're faced with. So what we're going to have is a day of reckoning. There's going to be a day that we as Americans have to look at the true record of people and say, I can't keep doing this. If this guy's my buddy, if this guy's going to make me prosperous, and that's what happens. They get enough buddies that they take care of, and then when it comes to election time, y'all know the situation, y'all know how it works. The good news is this. Although we are in dire straits in this country, and we are, although it is bad, very bad, it can be fixed. Another problem that we've got, one solution is this. You know what? Everybody in here, 50% of the people, guess what they're doing? They're paying all the taxes. 50% of the people don't pay income taxes. Now, what is that? What kind of fair situation is that? I talk about 4-letter words. And you need to be fair to everybody. A simpler tax system where everybody participates. If you got people that aren't paying in, of course they're going to vote for the guy that's going to give them the most goods at the end of the day. That's exactly what's going on in our country. They want something for nothing. I think it was Thomas Jefferson who said, when the majority of the people figure out they can vote themselves benefit out of the treasury, then you lose. Because that's exactly what they will do. So we have to do that. We have to get this country back to work. We have to create jobs. We have a situation where now, 3 years, you can sit on an unemployment line. 3 years. And collect a check every week. That's another problem that we should be facing as people. That is something that's totally out of whack, it's totally wrong, and it's really unethical. It's not even fair to those people. That's not what the government is made to do. So the hope is there. I was talking with Butch over here, guy right here. Butch Pardue was telling me, listen, I'm talking to this guy, Art Laffer. He's the one that worked for President Reagan. He's the one that did the Laffer curve. And so, and so bad. My wife doesn't want me to, and I can't plan because I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. And these guys know that. And the only way to get this country rolling, the way it should be rolling, is to free up these entrepreneurs, get the government out of the way, and let them do what they do best. And we can do that. If we get the people in office, if we replace the people that aren't doing the right things, they've been there 9 or 10 years and haven't done anything, the deficit has doubled since they've been there. If we get these people out of office and put people in that think like we do, the entrepreneurs, the people that have been there, the people that know that this is the way things work. And that's one of the things, I mean, I've been in the private sector my entire life. Never been, never ever been a politician. That's who I am. I understand what makes these guys work. And that's what I'll do. We can get over it, but it's just going to take getting back to the basics. People work, you reap what you sow. You don't reap what somebody else sows. If you don't work, you don't sit around for 3 years on the couch and collect an unemployment check. You let everybody pay you into the system. They're just simple, basic things that all you entrepreneurs, and most of you are entrepreneurs in here, understand. If you do it right at the bottom, when Larry's going to build a condominium, he knows that if I do every little decision is made correctly, and I stand on these principles, at the end, at the top of the turf boys over there, it's going to be all right because I know I got the right kind of concrete, I got the right kind of steel, I made the deal, I stuck to this principle, I did what was right all the way through. And that's just the way it's not rocket science. We can do it in this country. The people in this room, if we do what the founding fathers did, if we come together and pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor, we can change this country. But that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. We're going to have to really want to do something. We're going to have to really commit to each other and do it. Everybody being off on their own, that's not working. We've got to come together, and we've got to work as a team. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at people right now that just absolutely swamp the rain tax. I mean, just swamp. Never seen anything like that bad in my life. I laughed the first time David Peterson called me. He said, Dean, I think it's 93%. I think we got 93%. I think that's the first numbers he called from the courthouse up there. 93 to 7, and I said, my goodness. And it ended up 88 to 12. And that's a good indication of where people are. I won't tell you, I will tell you, somebody in this room was sitting in a restaurant the other day. And somebody came and sat right beside him and told him, and he overheard the entire plan. And I will tell you something. The opposition is very upset, very, very concerned. Because they know the sentiment of people is against Washington politicians. They're upset. They know that the polls are showing that this is a very, very volatile time. And I'm telling you guys, if y'all come together and y'all help me, I will run a hard, hard race. I will run hard, and I will go to places like this, all over this district, and I will talk to people like you, and we can get out there and do it. It's not going to end there. We're going to have enough money for television, and it's going to be a fight that the people of Alabama haven't seen in a long time. And it's going to be a hard fought fight. And I do believe, I tell my people, I say, listen, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be so bad, I used to fight. It's going to feel like we're standing here with our teeth knocked out, but I really believe, and I don't say this lightly, we can beat this guy. We can beat this guy. Just by going and looking at his record and telling the people of this district, this is what he voted for. We don't have to get dirty. We just say, that's what he stands for, this is what I stand for. And we can do it. We can beat this guy. But I will need your help. I got everybody's phone number, everybody's address, everybody's email address, and I will contact you, and I will need your help. And I do believe